Welcome folks to my channel. I am Outdoor Anthony. Today, you're curious about knives, or else you wouldn't have clicked on this video. I love knives, not because I'm a psycho, but because I use them for different reasons. And if you're curious on what knife to get for your everyday life, or for camping, or for bushcraft, or whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you why I choose the knives I do, and what situations I would use them for, and hopefully that helps you figure out what knife you get. Okay, so to start off, there are gonna be three things for you to remember during this video. Number one, I'm sorry, it's windy, so if it gets windy, I can't control that. Number two, there is not a perfect knife for everything. Seriously, so these are all specialist knives. No matter what kind of knife you get, it's a specialist knife. If you get a generalist knife, which I have one of these here, can you see which one it is? It's probably not worth buying. And then there's also like the decorative knives, okay? Number three, and kind of the most important, if you find a knife online that has a toxic symbol on it, or it says zombie killer, or it's neon green, or it's a pink knife, just don't buy it. Don't buy it, because they're not appealing to actual people that like high quality steel. Here are some knives. All of these knives are two of these knives are under $50. The rest of them are probably over $100. And we're gonna dive into each of them. So let's get started, shall we? All right, I call this one the Master Chief knife. I like this knife because it's simple, it's light, and it has a bit of a sheen on it. Or I guess it's matte, I guess is what you would call it. But it doesn't rust easy, which is really great. This is an M-Tech knife. I got it from Big Five for like 30 bucks. It comes with a paracord handle, but this is what I'm talking about. This paracord handle on this M-Tech was really crappy paracord. It actually was just the sheath of the rope itself, and it didn't have any actual rating. So I am not a fan of paracord handles, personally. I wrapped it in athletic tape, which is what you're gonna see in a couple of these as well. I recommend wrapping your stuff in paracord, or wrapping it, not in paracord, in athletic tape, because it gets a better grip, and it's better for things that are wet and such. And then this blade is really interesting. As you can see, it has a good edge, and then the tip of it, I think this tip will last a couple more weeks before I accidentally break it. So this tip, I wouldn't recommend knives like this because these tips break very fast. The back of it's a little ridged, as you can see here, and that's great for striking for ferro rods, or really like gumming up some wood if you need to get some, like a bite for a saw, anything like that. I would recommend this knife to beginner knife people that are just getting into fixed blades. A fixed blade is a knife that is coming out of a sheath, right? This is not a fixed blade right here. This is not a fixed blade. This is also not a fixed blade. The rest of these are fixed blades. My rating for this is 4 out of 10. That's what I recommend for this M-Tech knife. The steel is actually not that bad. It's 440 stainless, which is pretty standard. I think diving knives are 440, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong. All right, next, the Leatherman. I've used this Leatherman for a couple things. If you're taking it camping, you really can't go wrong with it, but you're not gonna be doing giant tasks with this. You're gonna be doing small tasks with this. I actually found this knife in the middle of my street in front of my house from a utility guy that left it here by accident. And I tried calling him, he didn't want it, but the tip broke off, as you can see, when he was using it. So I kind of got it a little damaged, but it's fine, it's a free knife. And this is the Leatherman Wave Plus. It's great for camping. Imagine you have a hot pot and you need to take it off the fire. That's great, you can use the pliers for that. Also, small things in here that are a bit of luxury if you're outdoors, you know? Whether that's a saw, or there's clippers in here as well. There's a screwdriver, there's Allen wrenches, there's measurement systems on here as well. There's can openers. These scissors are really great as well. Man, using scissors is like fantastic. So I am rating this a 7 or 8 out of 10. This is a very good utility knife. But for big moves or for self-defense, it might fall short in some places. But it is a generalist knife for a lot of things. Put you right back right there. I'm dating a beautiful lady, and this is the knife that she keeps in her purse. This is a little Milwaukee knife. You can get these at Home Depot. They're really great. She's a potter, so she ends up using this to cut clay. to do a lot of work, and I mean, it holds a good edge. The tip, you can see that the tip, they start to get really thin on the tip for the metal. I don't like that personally. And also, folding knives are not usually in my bag, I'll be honest. So I'm gonna say this is a 3 or a 2 out of 10. I would use it, but crappy folding knives always break on the hinges. And if not, the blade breaks. They just break, okay? This is a higher quality folding knife. This is an Attack Force knife that I've had for many years. I got this in Big Bear, California. And I like this because I use this for carving a lot of the times. I carve swords, I carve wood, I make little handles out of stuff. It's great. This is really like one of those survival folding knives because it has a really nice clip. It has a place to like tie for lanyards, seatbelt cutter, a windshield buster thing. The thing that I wish they did was, you see these holes right here? I wish that they were hexagonal so I can use them as, you know, to screw nuts and bolts in, which would have been fantastic, but they did not think that through. Attack Force, make a better version of this, please. I rate this 5 out of 10. Yeah, 5. I've been holding on to this Damascus knife. This is actually the second one. I have 3 of these exact knives. This is the second one that I've had. The first one is amazing. The tip broke off, and then it got super rusty, and I've just had to really take care of it. It's a lot of maintenance to have a Damascus steel knife, a genuine Damascus steel knife. But damn, they're durable. They're great knives, and I get compliments so often on Damascus blades. But as you can see here, that tip is very fine. And I really enjoy these full tang blades that go all the way up here, but the thing is, they stopped right here and it got really thin again. So this would be good for, I don't know, skinning a little. Yeah, skinning. I'm falling out of love with these knives. These are made by Perkins, and this is probably $120 of a knife. They might do it on discount now because it's an older model, but I don't recommend Damascus steel for outdoor settings. I'm gonna say it. Cool. This guy right here is also a Perkins knife. Here's what you need to watch out for these knives. I'm sorry the wind's kicking up, but why did you buy a 2-sided knife, you might ask? I thought it looked sick, and I like Skyrim, and all Skyrim knives are double-sided. However, what am I gonna use this for, right? If I wanna carve something, what am I gonna do? Put my thumb on the blade to carve something? I can't do that. This tip is very fine as well. And as you can see right here, the thickness of the blade down here does not even approach the thickness as soon as it gets past the handle. This is a decorative knife. If you look at that handle, oh boy, that's a special handle. It's tarnishing because I haven't taken care of it in a while. But this is like a blue abalone wood knife. Your hand will slip so fast. A lot of buck knives have really slippery handles like this. I don't recommend getting slippery handles for everyday use knives. Because of this, imagine your fingers get wet. Imagine if you get cut because you're bleeding and your hand has blood on it, and then your hand slips because of the blood and you get more cut, right? So, any kind of handle, please, please, please make sure it's not a sleek, shiny, cool looking handle. Get a nasty, dirty looking handle. Those do so much better in your hand. I have fallen in love with manganese knives recently. This is the knife that I've been using, and I have a little pocket sheath. This guy actually used to go in here, but now this has taken its place because of the utility of a manganese knife. Now, manganese, super heavy knives, I won't lie. If you don't mind the heft of a knife, this is the knife I recommend more than any other knife here. Just because, look at that. So the blade down here and the blade up here, same thickness. It's fantastic. The tip itself is really great because it has a great tip, but it's not doing anything crazy like really wisping away and just dissolving into nothing at the end. It's strong all the way to the very, very end. And that's what I really admire about this knife. I'll put the links for a lot of these knives that I recommend into the description. I won't put the links into the ones that I don't recommend in the description. I'm not paid by any of these guys, but I do say this is my favorite out of all of these for general use out while you're hiking, while you're camping. just because of the strength of manganese. You don't have to take care of it as much as Damascus, but you do have to take care of it more than just regular 440 stainless. And on top of that, there's a nice little thumbed curve right here, so when I do want to whittle, it's great. There's a finger guard, which is really nice for when you are whittling with stuff. Regardless, this is my everyday knife, and it kind of looks like a rogue fantasy knife, and I dig that, right? So that is my everyday knife. I'm gonna say this is a 9 out of 10. Why is it not a 10 out of 10? Because there's no perfect knife, right? So this is as close as I can get to a 10 out of 10. Something to be said for these kinds of axes. You can get these at Big Five. You can get these really at any outdoor store. These are for throwing. If you are getting an axe, this is more of a little tomahawk. Axes work because they have heft on the head. That's why axes work. If you're bringing this out thinking that you're gonna chop wood with this, you are sorely mistaken. Or if you're not mistaken, it's gonna take super long because it has no weight to it. This is for chucking. Let me see if there's any wood behind me to chuck it at. No, but I recommend these just for fun. This is basically a dart for a dartboard. I don't recommend throwing tomahawks for putting in any kit, any survival situation at all. And then I have this final one, which I really wanna talk about. I got this from a local blacksmith here in Lake Tahoe. I never met him because I got it after he sold it to a pawn shop. This bad boy right here is for freaking fighting orcs, taking names, and this is my #1 recommended knife for general hiking and outdoor use. This is my favorite home knife. It's great for self-defense. I mean, look at this thing. #1, if I came at you with this knife, it would be awful. But #2, it would be really, really great for, I mean, any kind of close quarter combat, whether that is attacking that way or attacking that way. Also, this has very reminiscent like butcher feeling, so I use this to chop meat, to chop vegetables. I really keep this around. The handle is really nice and chunky and a beautiful wood. So the blacksmith did a great job on this. This is the texture of a quality blade. You can see the work that went into the details and design, and on top of that, the continuation of thickness from the base all the way to the top does not stop, even at the actual tip. I had to grind it down myself. So this is my favorite home knife, funny enough, and then right here is my favorite outdoor knife. Anthony, why in the world do you have such giant knives? I'll tell you why. Because #1, I think it's cool, and #2, that's it. You could have watched a regular survivalist's video about why they like their knives, but you watched mine because I have arrows on my back and talk about crazy stuff all the time. So regardless of how you get outside, remember to get outside. These are very intimidating looking knives, I will say that. Please look at the general laws in your area of what kind of knives to get. These are all very safe bets for going outside and just being like safe. These are for folks that want to get more involved in bushcraft, you know, and getting outside and making and crafting. There are knives for everything. What are you going to be doing that requires a knife? Explore your options. Hopefully I gave you some tips today that help you go home and figure out how to do this. Maybe you're just on the toilet watching this, or maybe you're in bed and you should be going to bed because it's 3 a.m. Regardless, I hope you learned something. That's OutdoorAnthony channel. Follow me, subscribe. I don't give a shlabooble. I hope you guys have a great day. Go to bed if you're watching this super late. All right, see you guys later. Watch my other videos.